Hey everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive. Ready to get into some music today?
We're always ready for that.
Yeah. Well, today we're going to be talking all about Myke Towers.
Oh, nice.
So like all of our deep dives,
So-
we've done our research, we've pulled up everything we can find on this guy. But as always, if there's anything we missed, you know, where to find us. Let us know what you want to hear more about.
Definitely.
But Myke Towers, I think, is really interesting because he's gotten pretty popular recently, like really popular. But it feels like it kind of came out of nowhere, at least to me, you know?
I can see that. For sure, his global popularity has exploded
Yeah.
in the past couple years. But, you know, he's actually been grinding for over a decade.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, just to get us all on the same page, Myke Towers was born Michael Anthony Torres Monge on January 15th, 1994.
Okay.
And he's from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And that's important
I was
because...
going to say, it's got to have some influence on his music, right?
Absolutely. It's hard to grow up surrounded by the rhythms and energy of Puerto Rico and not have it seep into your soul.
Yeah, for sure. So he's born in 94, starts making music, what, like early 2000s?
Not quite, actually. He was drawn to music from a young age, but his first love wasn't even Latin music. Believe it or not, he started out freestyling and recording demos inspired by 90s rap.
Whoa, okay. So, like, completely different from where he ended up.
Right. It just goes to show that musical journeys can take some unexpected turns.
For sure. So when did he start to transition into the Latin scene?
Well, he started uploading his music to SoundCloud back in 2013.
Oh, so he's like one of those SoundCloud success stories.
Yeah, exactly. He was initially going by Myke, but then switched to Myke to represent Young Kings.
I like that. It's like he was leveling up.
Yeah, exactly. It was a sign of his growing ambition and his desire to stand out from the crowd.
And stand out he did, because just a few years later, in 2016, he released his mixtape, El Final del Principio.
Ah, yes. That was a game changer. This mixtape didn't just make waves, it debuted at the top of the iTunes charts.
Seriously, for a mixtape.
Yeah, and it even peaked at number 12 on the Latin Rhythm Albums chart, which is a pretty big deal for an independent artist.
Yeah, no kidding. That's usually where you see the big established names.
Yeah.
So that must have been the moment when people really started paying attention.
Absolutely. It was a sign that Myke Towers was a force to be reckoned with. And the industry took notice. In 2017, El Final del Principio won the award for Best Mixtape of the Year at the Billboard Latin Music Awards.
Whoa, okay, so that's like official recognition.
Exactly. It solidified his status as a rising star, and from there, his career just took off.
So this is all before 2020, right?
Yeah, this is all the groundwork he laid before he became a global phenomenon.
So what happened in 2020? What changed?
Between 2019 and 2020, Myke Towers started dropping hit after hit and collaborating with some of the biggest names in Latin music.
Like who?
Well, there was Si Se Da with Farruko, which got a remix with Archangel Sesh and Zion.
Okay, that's a pretty stacked lineup.
Yeah, and then there was La Playa with Maluma and Farruko again.
I feel like I've heard that one.
Oh yeah, it was everywhere. And he also teamed up with Becky G for Dollar.
So basically he was on every track.
Pretty much, he was everywhere. And each collaboration exposed him to a wider audience.
I guess if you're going to do it, you got to go all in, right?
That's how you make a splash.
Uh,
But it wasn't just about collaborations. He also released his debut studio album in 2020.
what was it called?
Easy Money, baby.
That's a cool title.
Yep.
What's the story behind that?
He actually named it after his son, Sean Torres.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. It was a deeply personal project, but it also achieved massive commercial success.
How massive are we talking?
This album spent 83 weeks at #1 on the top Latin albums chart.
83 weeks. Are you serious?
Dead serious. That's unheard of, especially for a debut album.
Yeah.
And it also received a Latin Grammy nomination for Best Urban Music Album.
Okay, so clearly this guy knows what he's doing.
He's not just talented, he's strategic. He knows how to connect with his audience and build a lasting career.
Yeah, and he's obviously not afraid to put in the work. 83 weeks at #1. That's got to take some serious dedication.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just Easy Money Baby that was making waves during this time. He also had a massive hit with Wezin on a track called Mi Niña from the album Los Legendarios 001.
How big were we talking?
This song hit #1 on Billboard's Latin Airplay chart, went platinum, and got remixed with Anita and Maluma.
Okay, so this guy's on a roll. clearly he's not a one-hit wonder. He's got the talent and the drive to stay at the top.
Absolutely. And what's even more impressive is his versatility. He can drop a heartfelt album like Easy Money Baby and then dominate the airways with a high-energy banger like Mi Niña.
He's not afraid to experiment and explore different sounds.
Exactly. And that's what makes him so exciting to watch. He's constantly evolving, pushing boundaries, and keeping his audience guessing.
So where does he go from there? I mean, how do you top 83 weeks at #1?
Will you stay tuned? Because in part 2, we're going to dive into his second studio album, Like Myke, and explore how he continued to redefine his sound and solidify his place as a global superstar.
Ooh, okay. I'm intrigued. Can't wait to get into that one. But for now, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more on Myke Towers. Okay, so we're back. And we left off talking about Easy Money Baby and Mi Niña. Myke Towers is on top of the world. What happens next?
Well, in 2021, he drops his second studio album, Like Myke.
Like Myke. Interesting title.
Right. It's actually a nod to his previous stage name, Myke.
Oh, I see. Like a full circle moment.
Exactly. Like he's acknowledging his roots while embracing his evolution.
I like that. And how many tracks are we talking about on this album?
23.
23. Any significance to that number?
Well, some speculate it's a tribute to Michael Jordan's jersey number.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he's aiming for that level of greatness.
Could be. He's definitely got the drive and the talent.
And who did he collaborate with on this album?
We've got Janzi Nyango Flow and Sahir.
Okay, so a mix of familiar faces and some new names.
Yeah, he's always been good at blending established artists with up-and-coming talent.
Keeping things fresh, I guess.
Exactly. And like Myke really showcases his versatility. There's trap reggaeton, even some nods to classic hip-hop.
So he's not afraid to experiment and push boundaries.
Not at all. He's constantly evolving, trying new things, and expanding his sound.
And that brings us to 2023 and his third studio album, La Vida es Una.
Another 23 tracks, but this time the collaborations are even more diverse.
Oh, yeah. Who are we talking about?
We've got Archangel, Jay, Balvin Cheetah Ozuna, and even Daddy Yankee.
Oh, okay. Now that's impressive.
Talk about a lineup. It's like he assembled a Latin music dream team.
And what's the vibe of this album? Is he still experimenting or did he settle into a specific sound?
The La Vida es Una is all about embracing different genres and styles. There's something for everyone on this album.
So he's really solidifying his position as a global superstar who can appeal to a wide range of audiences.
Exactly. He's not limiting himself to one specific genre or style. He's creating music that transcends boundaries and connects with people on a universal level.
And speaking of connecting with people, let's talk about Lala, the track from La Vida es Una that took over the world in the summer of 2023.
Lala was more than just a hit. It was a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, I remember. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing that song.
It was everywhere on the radio and clubs on social media. It even sparked a viral dance challenge.
Oh yeah, I remember that. So what made La La so special? What do you think it was about that song that captured everyone's attention?
It's hard to say for sure, but I think it was a combination of factors. The beat was infectious, the lyrics were catchy, and the overall vibe was just irresistible.
It was definitely a summer anthem.
And it became his first song to hit #1 on Billboard's Global 200 X-School US chart.
So he's officially a global superstar.
No doubt about it. Lala cemented his status as one of the biggest names in music worldwide.
So what comes after global domination?
Oh, in July 2023, he signed a management contract with Brandon Silverstein's S10 Entertainment.
Okay, so he's making some big power moves.
Yeah, S10 is a major player in the industry. This move was definitely a sign that he's thinking long-term and building a team that can support his global ambitions.
He's not just an artist anymore, he's a brand.
Exactly. And he's building an empire. And then in 2024, he drops his 5th studio album, La Pantera Negra.
Okay, so he's not slowing down at all.
Not even a little bit. La Pantera Negra is another ambitious project with a mix of trap reggaeton and dancehall influences.
Sounds like he's really experimenting and pushing boundaries again.
He is. And the features on this album are insane. We're talking Bad Bunny Cosculella, Yavanshimi Peso Pluma, Darrell Omar Montez, Jay Wheeler, NTG.
Okay, that is a stacked lineup. He's bringing together some of the biggest names in Latin music.
It's like he's created a musical all-star team. And the album was a huge success, both critically and commercially.
So he's still at the top of his game.
Absolutely. He's showing no signs of slowing down.
And on top of all of that, he still finds time to collaborate with other artists.
Yeah, in late 2024, he teamed up with Dookie on a single called Nueva Era from Dookie's album Ameri.
And how did that one do?
It became a trending hit in several Latin American countries.
So he's still supporting other artists and helping to elevate the Latin music scene as a whole.
Exactly. He's not just focused on his own success. He's using his platform to shine a light on other talented artists.
That's awesome. So basically, Myke Towers is a global superstar who's still on the rise.
He's a force to be reckoned with, and I can't wait to see what he does next.
Same here. It's been a wild ride just catching up on everything he's accomplished in the past few years. But I have a feeling this is just the beginning. So we've talked about the hits, the collaborations, the awards, the global domination. But what I find really interesting about Myke Towers is how he's managed to stay grounded through it all. You know?
It's easy to get caught up in the hype and lose yourself in this industry, but he seems to have a really good head on his shoulders.
Totally. He comes across as super genuine and down-to-earth in interviews. And his music still feels authentic, like it's coming from a real place.
Exactly. He's not putting on a persona or trying to be someone he's not. And I think that's a big part of why people connect with him so strongly.
It's like he's inviting us into his world, sharing his experiences and his culture with us. And he's doing it all with this incredible energy and passion.
It's contagious. It makes you want to get up and dance and celebrate life.
For sure. So looking back at everything we've discussed, what do you think Myke Towers' legacy will be?
I think he'll be remembered as a pioneer, someone who helped push Latin music into the global spotlight and break down barriers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he did it all while staying true to himself and his roots.
He never compromised his vision or his authenticity, and I think that's an incredibly powerful message.
Yeah. It shows that you could achieve massive success without sacrificing who you are.
And that's something we can all learn from.
Definitely. Well, I think we've pretty much covered everything there is to say about Myke Towers. It's been a wild ride.
It has. He's an incredible artist with a fascinating story.
And I have a feeling we're going to be hearing a lot more from him in the years to come.
Oh, absolutely. He's just getting started.
So to all our listeners out there, if you haven't already, go check out Myke Towers' music. You won't be disappointed.
You might even discover your new favorite artist.
That's right. And until next time, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep the music playing.